So Andy Ruiz uploaded this video to social media, and yes, he is looking very trim in the video, but he is the king of the catfish. I mean, this guy has uploaded countless videos and countless pictures over the past few years where he appeared to be much slimmer and much lighter than we've ever seen him before. But then he turns up on the scales at the weigh-in and in the ring on fight night, and he's just as fat as he's ever been. So he must be using the best filters known to mankind. I mean, this guy must be a menace on Tinder. All I can tell you is I'm not letting this guy catfish me again. Anyway, in the video, he's calling out the likes of Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk, and Tyson Fury. Of Wilder specifically, he's requesting that Wilder send him a new contract and start a new round of negotiations. Now, these two were ordered to fight each other in a final eliminator by the WBC at the start of this year. They negotiated for several months. The WBC was supposed to order a purse bid. That's the standard procedure when two contestants in a final eliminator can't come to terms. They usually are given only a month to negotiate, and after that, the sanctioning body will put their foot down and order that purse bid, and the purse bid sorts out the purse splits, sorts out when the fight must happen, etc., etc. WBC didn't do that. I think I have a good idea why they didn't do it. Anyway, that aside, Andy Ruiz is kind of out in the cold at the moment. Deontay Wilder still retains his number one position with the WBC. Andy Ruiz, who was previously, I think, number 3, has been dropped down to number 5, which shows you the favoritism the WBC have towards Wilder rather than Ruiz. Ruiz has never been a WBC champion before Deontay Wilder has, and he was always one of their favorites, Wilder. So Wilder was saying Ruiz was asking for too much money. Ruiz came out publicly and said, I'll accept 10 million. How much money would that fight need to generate in order to make a $10 million purse for Andy Ruiz realistic? Deontay Wilder is probably going to want, what, 20 million? So is he going to come down and maybe go 50-50 with Andy Ruiz? Excuse me. I doubt it. He is pursuing the Anthony Joshua fight, which in his mind, I'm sure, is lower risk and much higher reward financially. So who could Andy Ruiz pursue? Well, Alexander Usyk is tied up with mandatories, the Hrgovic mandatory, and then after that, he's going to have to fight the winner of Zhang Joyce. And amidst all that, if by some miracle Tyson Fury decides to fight an actual boxer again, we might get the undisputed fight. So that counts Alexander Usyk out for Andy Ruiz right now. He's tied up. Then we've got the Gypsy King Tyson Fury. Well, there were some talks between Tyson Fury and Andy Ruiz. Tyson Fury says that Ruiz priced himself out and wanted 20 million, or Frank Warren, his promoter, said Ruiz wanted 20 million. But Ruiz disputes that and said he didn't want anywhere near that much. Now, I'm not putting it past Ruiz or his team to lie, but I'm certainly not putting it past Tyson Fury and his team to lie either. So believe who you want to believe. Then you've got Ruiz talking about a trilogy with Anthony Joshua. I don't think Joshua would risk that fight right now. Maybe I'm wrong, but for the same reasons that Deontay Wilder isn't particularly keen on the Ruiz fight, I don't think AJ would be. And as a boxing fan, do I really want to see AJ versus Ruiz 3 right now? I'd prefer to see AJ Wilder. I'd prefer to see Wilder Ruiz, because those are fights I haven't seen before. We've seen AJ Ruiz twice before. So it's not a priority for me as a boxing fan. I want to see fights we haven't seen before. That's the priority for me. Well, who else is there for Andy Ruiz? He's going to have to just stay busy, because inactivity is the worst thing for any fighter, particularly a heavyweight, particularly a guy who, in Andy Ruiz's case, is 34 years of age. He's already been out the ring just over a year. The last time he fought was against Luis Ortiz. Even if he has to get out against journeyman, that's better than sitting on the shelf and collecting ring rust. So Andy Ruiz needs to get onto his team, Al Heyman and everybody else over there at PBC, and make something happen. Just get out and be active. See, I've criticized Anthony Joshua quite a lot over this past 10 months, a year, for his performances and his mindset, so on and so forth. But one thing I have to compliment Anthony Joshua about is the fact that he's staying active. As messed up as his confidence might be right now, it's better that he's in the ring fighting than out the ring doing nothing, because his confidence would be even worse then. So Andy Ruiz needs to take a leaf out of Anthony Joshua's book. If you can't get the big fights right now, stay active at the very least. And we know that PBC are particularly bad when it comes to keeping their fighters active. So many PBC fighters have been out the ring for a ridiculously long time over the past few years. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Andy Ruiz calling out Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk, and Tyson Fury. Do you think he'll ever get any of those fights? How do you think those fights would go? Are you interested in any of those fights? And if so, list them in the comment section below. I'd be very interested to see which of those 4 you'd most like to see Andy Ruiz fight first. And before I go, I want to give a shout out to all the new subscribers to my Patreon page. I cover loads of different topics in my weekly podcast, as you can see on screen right now, from current events to deep dives down the rabbit hole and everything in between. I'm really enjoying the feedback and the discussions we've been having on there lately. So if you'd like to join the conversation, just click the link in the description box below. Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.